Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribune of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today we will be talking about the comics, because that's what we do. We also talk about comics too. This will be issues 15 of both Mighty Morphin and also Power Rangers. We are also going to hit you with some news because, yes, things have been happening, not much, but things have been happening in these streets. So, we always gotta give y'all the tea about what's going on. Now, some of this news you may already know, you know what I'm saying? You may already know, but also at the same time, it may be stuff that you don't know. So, stay tuned for that. But first, before we get into any of this stuff, right? I always got to hit y'all with please follow us. Please listen to us on all available podcast platforms. That is SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. So please subscribe, share, do all the things, because trust and believe, I think, do great work. We have great content, and it'll be nice to support. So yeah, definitely hit us up and tell us how much you like the show. And yeah, let's get this show rolling, right? So, y'all, apparently, not apparently, that sounds wrong, but Power Morphicon is a thing. It is a thing, y'all. It is a thing this year. Granted, COVID cases are still a thing as well. But, it's still a thing, Power Morphicon is still a thing. We're still having guests. We're still having people come through. You know what I'm saying? So it will be up and running August 26th through August 28th in Pasadena at, the Pasadena Convention Center. So if you are around there at that time, or if you're coming out of town to, to California, to the convention, is around that time. So I believe they are still selling tickets. So definitely get your tickets. So it is going to be a pretty good show, apparently, because they're going to have some new interesting guests this time around. Now, for the Sentai girls, right? Some of the girls may not know who this man is. But if you know, you know. So has anyone here heard of Jetman?
Yes.
Yes.
Sentai? Yes. Okay, so apparently, this is word on the street now. This is word on the streets. But apparently, the legend himself, Toshide Wakamatsu, aka Guy Yuki, who played Black Condor, is going to be at Power Morphicon this year. Also accompanying him is going to be also Captain Marvelous himself from Gokaiger, who is also Troy's, I guess, the Japanese version, his counterpart. Thank you. Ryota Ozawa, who played Captain Marvelous. He will also be at Power Morphicon as well. So a lot of people are saying this is going to probably be the picture of a lifetime to have both Troy and Captain Marvelous both taking a picture together. So that's going to be one of the best. That's going to probably be one of the biggest spotlight moments of Power Morphicon. So what do you think? What do you think about this?
I think it's great news that we're having so many new guests that we haven't seen before at the show. But if I'm being honest, I'm not as excited for Power Morphicon this year as I previously had been.
Yeah.
No,
I feel you.
I don't know. So I don't know. I do hope that they're inviting all these great guests and that there will be a great turnout for them, and it would work out for everybody. But I just would hate for them to have guests, and those guests are wasting their time essentially to fly all the way out from wherever. Because some of these guests are coming from high and far.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know? And then obviously some of them even hire translators. So it's just like, that's a lot. That's a little overwhelming. So I don't know. I just feel like I hope that Power Morphicon will live up to its normal standard. But with it being back and forth between Pasadena and Hennonite, I can't even say it right. But that's all I have to say about that.
That's pretty cool for the people that are also Sentai fans, because it's not a guarantee that they'll ever get to go to Japan and meet those actors. So it's pretty cool that Morphicon's been able to secure them, and they've done that a couple of times now. So it is pretty cool for them, for sure.
Yeah, they brought in the Zyuranger cast for the most part. The only one that we haven't seen, I don't believe, as of yet, was Burrise, the Dragon Ranger, the Green Ranger. I don't think he's came over yet.
I don't
think so. Yeah, I don't think he's come yet. So I mean, hey, listen. For the girls out here, like Will said, who love Super Sentai, these are two people from two seasons that the westernized American people love to rant over, because I promise you, you can go to any forum, whether it be Power Rangers or a Sentai group, wherever you go, two seasons will always be at the top of people's list. Go Geyser and Jetman. Jetman mainly for the girls who love older Sentai, because Jetman had a hold on the girls for a minute. I ain't gonna hold you. It had a hold on me. Hell, it still do it sometimes, because I might even throw on Jetman just randomly. But like between those two seasons, the girls love those seasons. So for sure, if you don't know, now you know. Check them out. Check out their seasons, and you might like them. I do know that there are a subgroup of Power Ranger fans who are just like, Power Rangers is Power Rangers to me. I don't deal with that Super Sentai mess. No. And to that, I'm like, listen, if that's how you like it, if that's how you like your bread buttered, then butter your bread, baby, butter your bread. But if you want to go out and see some new things, I would highly suggest definitely looking into those particular seasons. So yeah, but they are the guests of the hour, I guess you should say. Also, too, a lot of people have been, getting kind of upset because a certain somebody has been asked to come back after years and years and years and years and years. Samuell Benta, Jesus Christ, who played Will, the Black Ranger in Operation Overdrive, will be at Power Morphicon this year.
Oh, wow.
What do you guys think about that?
Oh,
yes.
My
so
goodness.
much for a lifetime ban, huh?
Right.
Well, that could have been exaggerated, so we don't even know. We don't, like, I don't know. I mean, okay.
As I sip
for
this
all
coffee.
of you ladies out there, obviously, we interview Samuell Benta. We don't discriminate.
The first, by the way, the first to do it.
We were the first. We were the first. And we were the first for a while until he decided that he was going to expand his world, which is great. But I have mixed feelings because he's an interesting character, to say the least. And if I'm being completely truthfully honest, I don't think he has matured a lot since the last time he's been at Power Morphicon.
That's real. That's real. That's real. I listen. We tight. I agree.
Yeah. So this
I agree.
is gonna be interesting. Now I'm interested for the tea that's gonna come out of it because I feel like he's gonna create some kind of drama now.
You think so?
I think so. I don't know. You know what? Okay. I'm sure you probably would agree once I say this. I got the sense when we interview him, he's got ammunition. No, what ammunition. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. He's got ammunition. I feel he's gonna go in with a game plan. And he's ready. He's ready to like take anyone down who's gonna bring a word of like, you stole the banner. Return the banners. There's gonna be some fans out there gonna say just that exact thing, or they're gonna be like, did you do it? I think you did it, So
yeah. I see where you're going at. I see where you're getting at. So, right.
And based on our interview with him too, I got that vibe, like I feel like he's just ready to like, just a disclaimer, we don't know the real truth. We don't know whether or not he did it. We're not here to judge him for that, whether or not he did do it. It's not our place, even though we must be tribunal magic, but hey, but it's not our place. We don't know the details. We don't know really what really happened. And there's a lot of he said, she said, and they say, right? So, but obviously this created this has created a lot of drama in his world and in the world of the fandom. So
yeah, I
do sense that he's ready for some bombs to be released on anybody, and I want to say he has matured since then, but based on our interview with him, which was only like a year ago, I don't think he has. As a human, I think he has yet to mature, and I think he has yet to come to a better place where he can openly admit whatever he wants to admit, and stick to that story.
Say that again.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So, and then the other thing is good. And the other thing is too, he needs to hire better PR person because he's
get out of my head, get out of my brain, because I promise you that's literally what I was going to say.
Because like whoever he has or doesn't have, it is not looking good for him.
Get out of my head, because oh my gosh, wow. Oh wow, yes.
Oh yeah.
Get out of my head.
Oh, that's my thought.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Lena. Like, first of all, you literally said everything that I wanted to say. Honestly, and I know, Will, you probably want to say something, but give me just a second. I gotta have the floor just real fast. Here's my thing. I was about to say, here's my thing. Where am I right now? Where am I? Anyway, I'm about to talk like I'm damn Jamaican. But anyway, here's my thing. I see it like this, right? At the end of the day, honestly, to be truthfully honest with you, it's been over 10 years since this shit went down. It's been over pretty much, we approaching almost about 15 at this point. Hell, might be over 15. But it's been a minute since this whole thing went down. It's been a while. My thing is, even if, I feel like it's to the point now, motherfuckers don't even care if you did it at this point. We don't care. What it really boils down to is it is the attitude in which he has been portraying, where he's been so defensive. Even when we got to interview him and we were talking about the situation, he just seemed like he was just so defensive. And it's like, we just interviewed him just in 2020? So it's like, you're still so hyped and defensive over this situation. My thing is, if you really want to be accepted back into the good graces of the fandom, the main thing that me personally, what I would have done is been like, look, listen, it was a while ago. I personally has grown, from it. Here's my story. This is what I'm sticking to. Yes, I didn't steal it. I do recognize that it should have never left the room to begin with, because it is on camera with him walking out with it. So, at the end of the day, I should not have walked out with the banner. Then it ended up getting lost. That's on me. I do recognize that. But I will say I didn't take it. I didn't steal it, but I shouldn't have walked out with it. I do apologize for anything that may have happened, any inconveniences that may have come from it. I do apologize. I'm willing to, do it again. I'm willing to, try to do something like that again, where we can, try to, create another banner and, get all the people to sign it and send, what I'm saying, and, get funds from it and stuff. I'm willing to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to make amends, but it still feels like he is so like on the defense. And it's like, my God, first of all, do you need a shot? Because I got Jack, I got Jack, I got Crown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you if you need a drink.
Remember, he wanted a drink. Remember that? He wanted a drink. He was upset that he wasn't legal in America to drink.
Right.
I would never forget that, because I just remember thinking, how immature are you?
Right. And I mean, listen. And the thing is, it's like, I get it. You were young. You had all this feeling, all this emotion. And we can tell he's a heightened human being. We can tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We could tell he's heightened. So it's like, I get your energy. I feel you. But at the same time, there has to be a certain level of maturity, even with even with you wanting to, tell your side and to explain what's going on. Trust me, I get it. But at the same time, you have to be accountable for the things that you are responsible for. You can't just not say, I didn't do it, and not sit here and be accountable for the things that you did have in your control. You can't do that. And the thing was, at the end of the day, you may not have stolen the banner, but at the end of the day, the rule was the banner was not to leave the green room. That was the rule. And it's on camera with him walking out with the banner. So it's like, you can't deny that you did not have some sort of stake in this, and that you should not be held accountable for it. Yes, you should. But at the end of the day, it also just comes with you just being, and like I said, I don't think people are upset with him at this point for taking the banner. We're not upset with that anymore. We can care less. We don't give a fuck. But the thing is, it's like, at this point, it's like, dude, you still don't want to be held accountable, and you are. So that's the only thing. Like Lena, like you said, Lena, it's just like, he still doesn't seem like he's matured. There's still some things about him that he just has not matured at all. And like, and remember our conversation, I still ain't forgot about him getting a little too comfortable with me,
Yeah.
And with the gay shit. I ain't forgot about that. I ain't forgot, because I may be a daughter, but I'm the wrong daughter to pull that with. So
yeah.
All right, now, I kept it cute while we was on the interview, but don't try that shit again.
Yeah. Like I said, even with that, like, that comment was not even needed. What he even said was not even necessary. And that goes to kind of show, as a person, how far he has not come. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying it was not needed
at all.
At all. You know, like it's I'm glad he did the interview with us, and I'm thankful that he chose us to be his first ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know what? Like that was great. But I think as a person, he needs a lot. He needs to work on himself and look within and figure out what it is that he's so defensive about. And like, you know, why is he so hurt by this? Like, whether or not he did it, like aside from the fact that we saw that he did walk out with it, whatever he did with it, just own up to it.
Right.
Like, what? Listen, this is what happened. This like what if he said what like that he put it down and he lost it, it was still on him.
It was still on him.
It was still on him. You know, just admit it. Just be like, hey, listen, I lost it. I don't know what happened. It was my fault. I should never put it down. Knowing, you know, not maybe I didn't understand the concept of how much lives this could have saved. Not saved, actually, that's a wrong choice of word, but like, actually, yeah,
like how important it was, like you know,
how important it was, you know. So, and even then, like that was only last year or in 2020, which I genuinely was so confused by how, you know, like he's just ready. He was just ready to fight it. And I think we were smart with our choices of words and how I don't think we even brought it up. No, we never brought it up.
We did. I believe we did, but we didn't bring it up in a way where it was like, we just asked him to, like, you know, explain your side, basically. Like, you know, explain your side of how you know, how it happened or how everything went down. And, you know, that's when it just got real just defensive. And I'm just like, all we ask you to do is just explain your side. Like, you know, and he's just like.
And he didn't even sound genuine. He was just like
giving us the smoke. Well, giving the listeners the smoke, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, wow, dude, like, it's not that. Like, I mean, I mean, now it's not that deep, you know. Like, now had it been, you know, what 07, you know, 08, 09, maybe 10, you know, like, had it been around. Okay, no, I'm just saying, like, around that time. You know,
okay, I got you.
Yeah, like had it been around that time, yes, it's still fresh on people's minds. Nobody ain't gonna be, you know, paying attention to you like that. But you know, it's 10 plus, almost 15 years at this point. It's like, dude, no one gives a shit.
Nobody.
Just at this point, we just want you. Basically, what people really want, just want an apology. That's it. That's it. We just want an apology. And I promise you, this fandom is so forgiving. Like, we are hella forgiving for the most part. I mean, there are people who are just like, fuck you forever. But, you know, but for the most part, this fandom is extremely forgiving. Like, you could literally just say, look, y'all, I am sorry. I legit am really sorry for the people who may have been hurt by this, for the people who, you know, that may have, you know, been slighted by what I said or slighted by what I did. You know, I'm sorry. And listen, people be like, all right, I accept it. A little too late, but I accept it. It's cool. And I promise people will be like, all right, bet I'm willing to, you know, be cool with you now. But not this defensive attitude you got. Child. But did you want to say something on this? Because I know me and Lena was we had to get some things off our chest. So
yeah,
I don't know if you want to say something.
Yeah, it'll actually be 15 years and Morphicon. And I don't care, honestly. I never cared, really. You know, like if he did it, I thought that was messed up. But to see his name, anytime his name was brought up, or just to randomly see somebody bring him up and slander him, when at that point it had been, you know, some time passed. It just like, get over it, whatever. I don't care. I don't think it's a big deal. he didn't actually like. I feel like there's worse things to be angry about and to hold grudges over. So I never really. I always thought it was interesting how like people were really just like down for dragging them. But it's 15 years, so hopefully he has a good experience there and people can just like move forward. That's it.
No, well, I mean, and you're right. Like, and that's why I said, like for the most part, and I do feel like you and like most people, hell, even myself, like we're like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's fine. Like, dude, like, no one cares, But my thing is, it's just like for the girls out there who is like really just like, dude, like we don't care, just apologize and move on. Like for the girls who are asking for that, like I do feel like he does owe that. I at least that. At least that. But then again, he could be feeling like, but my thing is it's like if you're willing to talk about it like this, just know it's gonna generate those same feelings from people. You know what I'm saying? And without you delivering some sort of resolution to it, like, yes, people are still going to feel away. There is still going to be animosity. So if you're going to talk about it, at least end with an apology. Or there needs to be an apology somewhere in this. But like, it never is. It's just, I didn't do it, so get over it. And it's like, that's not what you say to a situation with a banner that disappeared that was supposed to go to, sick children at the children's hospital. Like, that is not how this works. You don't get to do that. Like, you don't get to dismiss it like that. So, I just feel like at the end of the day, just be accountable for the things that you did and say, I'm sorry. That's it. And it will go away. I promise. It will go away. But anywho, so that is the first part. Well, not first part, but the end of that, I guess you should say. But more on other news. So also, we'll talk about toys for a little bit because there's some other toys. There's some toys around here. Some toys been popping up. So across the pond, thanks to Lightning Fig PR. We just thought that Billy, Adam, Aisha, Rocky, and Kat were the only metallic figures. But we can't leave Tommy out. Tommy has arrived overseas in Malaysia. Now, if you look at his little piece of head sculpt, he got his little piece of Malaysian hair too, honey. That hair is laid. Let me tell you, the tresses are laid on this figure. So I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, and like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, it's nice. Like, it's a nice figure. So yeah, like we haven't gotten any promotion from Hasbro, any type of promo for it or anything like that. So thoughts, like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's just going to be like a one and done situation where they just throw Tommy out there and just be like, here you go? Or you think
they have to, promotion? I feel like they have to give him promotion because it's Tommy.
Exactly. They're definitely going to hype him up so much.
He looks like Dracula.
Damn. Not Dracula. I mean, he was Dracula in Zeo. He was Dracula in Zeo. So
wow, deep cut. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's cool that he comes with the full Zeo crystal. It makes sense. Like I definitely wondered when we would see his metallic figure, but it was bound to happen. And now that whole set is complete. But I saw somebody say this, I think it was on Twitter. They mentioned how they think it's kind of silly how they aren't properly like marketing some of these figures. Like, I'm wondering what took so long for this one, and like why this wasn't announced with the rest of them. And kind of the same with the Ninja Rangers too. Like that, those were like important, times in Power Rangers. So you would think that they would have done a better promotion like they did with some of the other ones. But it seems like there's just the promotion in general has kind of fell off in comparison to where it was when the Lightning figures first came out. But I wonder, like, do you? Well, I guess Lena, you can say something about this if you want, and then I have a question for both of you.
Oh, I don't really have anything to add to it, like, other than the fact that I'm with you. Like, I feel like he does look like Dragon. Wait, what's his name?
Dracula.
Oh my god, Dracula.
Too many drags.
Way too many drags. He does look like it. I don't know. I guess I'm just so over the Tommy hype. I'm like, how many figures does this guy now have? Like,
a lot.
So, yeah, I don't have much to add to it other than the fact that, like, yes, I do think they are going to do promotion. Like, they're gonna milk him for all they can. He's like their biggest, like, their biggest, like, money making situation. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
So do you guys think that? Probably. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm realizing how dumb this sounds. Do you think that this is it for the Mighty Morphin in the Lightning collection?
Hell no.
Will,
hell no.
You're funny, Will.
Okay, you're real funny for that.
Initially, I was thinking, like, damn, what else do they have? But then, like I said, saying it out loud, I'm like, oh yeah, probably not. Because I guess maybe in the next thing, if 95 movie figures. Yeah, the movie figures, 95 movie figures. And then, oh gosh, the Wild, I wonder if they would do the Wild West Rangers. That's like grasping.
No. God, no. I do not want that. Like, there are just so many things. I'm just like, no. Like, they just need to just let it go. Honestly, no, for real. Like, I could probably see the Lightning collection probably touching on the movie Rangers, maybe, because we do have the different head sculpts for the Ninja Rangers. So that would probably be a thing if they were to do that, because we do have the head sculpts for them. So it makes sense. It makes sense to do. My thing is, it's like Mighty Morphin ain't going nowhere. Like, they are going to find different ways to milk Mighty Morphin. Like, it's just not. They're going to just start picking things, just random things, just to give you different things from Mighty Morphin. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's not. It's just not. They will keep on milking Mighty Morphin before we ever see anything from anything post in space. Like, we sit here like, okay, so when are y'all gonna touch on, like, Lightspeed Rescue, RPM, whatever? And they're like, but Mighty Morphin though. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, no, they're never gonna stop Mighty Morphin. It's never gonna stop. Ever. And I mean, honestly, with the way that things are going, hell, when we have this 30th anniversary, I wouldn't even be surprised if all of a sudden for the 30th, they re-release every single Mighty Morphin toy that they have ever done. I would not be surprised.
Wow.
I would not be
Wow.
surprised if they just re-released everything all over again. Like, hey, here you go. Like, you just re-release everything. Just in different packaging. 30th anniversary. I know you already have this toy, but here's the box. Here's a brand new box for it. You know, like, yo, no, Mighty Morphin ain't going nowhere. It ain't. What do you think, Lena? You thinking the same or?
Oh, I'm so with you. Mighty Morphin is far from being gone, just far. I think the fact that we're even entertaining the idea that Mighty Morphin could be gone is kind of hilarious. like
I said, me actually saying it out loud, I was like, what the hell am I thinking?
Yeah, that ain't going nowhere. No, ever. But speaking of Mighty Morphin, so obviously, you know, we have Tommy, he's back, obviously, with his silk press. And also, now, when the Power Sword came out, originally in the description, they mentioned the Power Lance. So we already kind of knew that the Power Lance was coming. But, yeah, we ended up not only with just the Power Lance, but we also got the Blue Ranger helmet as well. What is it giving? What do you think? I love the packaging for it. I'm not even gonna hold you. The packaging for the helmet is fab. You know, what do you think?
I mean, do people actually are those kids actually interested in these Power Lance or like these weapons that they're releasing? And then for the adults, are we really collecting them? Like, and I mean that in the most sincere way. Like,
I think so.
Yeah,
because honestly, the reason why I say that is because like there are people who I know for sure they know that they're releasing these weapons, these separate weapons, and they want to build the Power Blaster. Like they want to build it. So like there's definitely a market for it for sure. And then not only that, these weapons like they light up and all this stuff. So no tea, no shade. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like with them being able to light up and make sounds and stuff and do all the things, that would be a nice piece to have all as one. Now, you know, it's going to be an expensive piece, but it would be nice when you collect them all.
Like, yeah, because the Power Sword and the Power Lance together, they're like probably after taxes, probably like 150 or something close to that. So together,
the Power Sword is like $2 something. Like it's like over $200. Yeah.
Damn, so somebody trying to make the Power Blaster is probably looking at 1,000.
Yeah, you're looking at roughly $1,000. So it's going to be a very expensive piece. Don't get it fucked up. It's going to be expensive, but it's
in comparison to what, like the $30 or $40 my mom spent on the original one when I was little.
Okay.
Oh my
the ones
God.
that the weapons look all teeny and shit. Yeah. Like
wow.
Trust and believe. Like, yeah, y'all. It's a thing. Like people, yeah, Lena, it's a thing. Like people are legit trying to get the things. Now, the only thing about it though, the Power Sword is still available on Hasbro Pulse. It has not sold out. So, you know, because
$200.
It's over $200. Like no one is spending that. Like no one is doing that. You know, like I'm sorry, but no one is doing it. And then when you think about it, it's like, okay, so the Power Sword was over $200. Just because I'm pretty sure length alone is like what's making it expensive, right? And of course, it makes sounds and it does all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. The power cannon. Isn't that Zach's weapon? What's the name of Zach's weapon? I'm blanking.
Power Axe.
Power Axe. There we go. I know it has a cannon mode. Power Axe, you know that mug is probably going to be the most expensive thing because not only is it the axe, it's also a blaster. So you're going to have all these lights and sounds on both ends. Like it's a like this thing, that Power Axe, you're looking at least probably a good 300, close to $400. Like, I mean, that Power Axe, I'm thinking is going to be expensive. Like, it's going to probably be the most expensive item. The cheapest is probably gonna be my girl Trini because she had the tiny little daggers. So hers probably gonna be the cheapest. Kimberly is probably gonna I'll probably say hers is probably gonna be around the same amount as Billy's, probably. So, you know, like, I'm sorry, like this thing you're looking at, like you said, short of $1,000. Like, it's gonna be an expensive piece. It's gonna be expensive. But yeah, and apparently, like the Power Lance itself it's pretty long. The only thing from what I've been hearing from people is that the lance itself, when you put it together and extend everything, it's still not long enough.
So it's supposed to be like almost, well, I guess depending on how tall the person is, like as tall as you. Right.
So, you know, they're saying like it should be at least 5 inches long, at least. And it comes just 5 feet. Yes. Sorry.
That would be horrible if it was that short.
That's what she said. But but 5 feet long. Yes. It's supposed to be at least 5 feet, but it still does not measure up. So oh man, dick jokes are funny. But yeah, like it's still too short. So it's like many people are just kind of like, I don't know. But then you have to think too, you know, it's like movie magic. It's TV show magic. It's like obviously it's not going to be, you know, you still have to build the canon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's like it can't be too long to where you can't build the canon anymore. So it's like I that's why I'm like, I can understand what they're trying to do. I know some people are like not here for it. I'm willing to extend a little grace. Extend. I'm willing to give grace where grace is due. And I do feel like, you know, I feel like this can work to me. You know, it doesn't. But then again, I'm not a girl who's going to buy it. So, you know, for someone who wants to spend the money, like I can see them having a problem with it. But yeah, other than that, like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's a good, like a nice weapon, a nice toy? Like, what do you think?
It looks cool. I definitely am curious about the rest and when we'll see them.
Right. Exactly. So there is that. And then also, lastly, we have on the info. So we're stepping out of toys for a bit, and we're going into a new little game, a new little situation. So apparently, a new mobile game is coming up. Inway is releasing a new mobile game called Power Rangers Morphin Legends. So, you know, basically it's given. So they're having a soft launch in Vietnam and the Philippines. And basically what it is it's a free-to-play RPG. and you can collect your different characters and so on and so on, and fight fight whomever, fight whatever villains and stuff like that, and it's supposed to be cute. So what is it giving? What do you think? Like,
the graphics
just
are
by looking at it.
The graphics are very interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
The graphics remind me of oh my god, what was it? Ultimate Spider-Man. There was a Spider-Man game back in like 06, 07. And it had the comic book type graphics with it and effects, and that's what this reminds me of, and it reminds me a little bit of Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch as well. But I think it looks cool. I just the last role or RPG that they had, it's kind of like lukewarm for me, so I'm like wondering if this will follow suit. And then with Legacy Wars, I still have fun with that from time to time, but having to pay for everything sucks, so I'm wondering if this is going to be another money grab.
I honestly was thinking that too. I was thinking that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lena, what do you think? Do you think is... Oh, yeah, you did say the graphics. My bad. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
But I don't know. Like, for me, I like it. My only thing is, it's one of those things where it's like you said, I just don't want it to be a situation where it's going to be a pay for play. Because as we know with Legacy Wars, also shout out to Miss Aisha Campbell for finally making it into the Legacy Wars in her ninja form.
Finally. Mm-hmm.
Finally, we can now boogie with the bear. So shouts out for that. But just the gag is, it sucks because it's like we are now having to, in order to play with her, you have to basically buy the character, and say, for example, if you bought all these previous other characters, if you wait 6 months, whatever, the character will be available to you, and they're gonna make them weaker. So when you first get them, they're so nerfed up, you just can beat any freaking body with them because they're so freaking nerfed, they're so OP. And then after a certain period of time, when they make them widely available, it's meh. They're weak, they're not that strong. Because I promise you, there was at one point when I was playing it, at one point, Draken would beat the dog shit out of you. Draken showed no mercy. It was freaking difficult as hell to beat Draken. Now, child, you can get anybody and dog Draken ass out. It's simple, So it's I don't know how to Legacy Wars, for anybody who's still playing it, let us know what you think. Is it still giving for you? Is it still a thing? Let us know, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not giving for me. Will, do you still play Legacy Wars?
I haven't played in a while. When I saw that Aisha was going to be released, I took my Android out to because I switched a little while ago, so I could play it again. But we'll see. This weekend, at least, you'll probably be able to test her out in the those little challenges.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah. You can be on some let's play with her, see what it's giving.
Yeah. And it sucks though, because I don't think that you can just straight out buy the new characters. You can buy like the opportunity to get them right, or at least you have to have oh my god, they introduced that little tier system thing. It's like a tower, but you would have to have
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of those Zeo crystal shards to do that. So it's like I don't, yeah, I have no idea how that would work. It's just too much. It's
Honestly,
too
I don't
difficult.
know. I
It's
I
too
genuinely
much.
don't know. I don't
That's too
know.
much. Like, especially when we really do want to play with these characters. I could see, having to pay for upgrades, to make them more powerful or whatever. But just to get their characters, that sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, no, that was one of the things that turned me away from Legacy Wars because, like, I'm not gonna hold you. I bit the bullet and re-downloaded Legacy Wars to play with my girl Izzy. I did. I did it. But once that time was over and we no longer had access and you had to, either purchase her or whatever, I was done. I was like, okay, time to uninstall. I'm done. I'm good. Thank you. It was cute. I had fun. And that was it. Like, no, I'm not spending any money. Like, no, y'all. And then, like, apparently Lexi Wars was having all these issues and y'all can have it. I'm good. I'm good on that. And lastly, before we get into the comics for the night, I just also wanted to touch on something really fast as well. So I know everybody is sitting around like, it's June. You know what I'm saying? It's June. We've already had Dino Fury. The second half hit us already with the 11 episodes at the beginning of the year. When are we getting our second half, honey? People are like, people were guesstimating saying maybe June. Like maybe June is the time that we'll get them, something like that. We have not heard anything as of yet, right? But someone is getting them. And it is France. God damn it, it's France.
Wow.
France is getting Dino Fury, the complete season, the rest of the episodes, in France. Well, hold on. Let me not say that. Hold on. Let me backtrack. It says season 2 of Power Rangers Dino Fury will start on Canal J on June 26th at 5:30 p.m. 6 unreleased episodes will be broadcast as part of a marathon day. Over 50 episodes airing throughout the day, including season 1 of Power Rangers Dino Fury. Now, this came from T1M3R_FR on Twitter. So shouts out to them. Now they're saying 50 episodes. Dino Fury is not no 50 episodes long. But I'm trying to figure out, what is the tea behind this? Like, are they gonna give us like brand new episodes in general? Like, what is going on? So it seems to me like, from my understanding, they will air 50 plus episodes all day long from Beast Morphers. Oh, Beast Morphers season 1 and season 2. Dino Fury season 1 and 6 new episodes from Dino Fury season 2. Okay, so it seems like the 6 episodes of Dino Fury will not feature the newer ones. Just I'm guessing just the ones that already came out, that we already got, I'm guessing. This is interesting because it's saying Dino Fury season 1 plus 6 new episodes from Dino Fury season 2. So I'm guessing it could be just the episodes that we already have on Netflix. So that's what it kind of seems like this is. But if it is a situation I'm hoping that, like, it's not a situation where where they start airing everything and we don't get to, we don't get to see everything that happens, because that sucks. Like, we always get the short end of the stick. Like, France will be the ones to get the entire season. And then we over here sitting there looking at freaking spoilers in French. And you got people giving us terrible, terrible subtitles talking about okay, this is what's happening in the scene, giving us these terrible translations. So I'm like, I just hope that that's not the case. But yes, they are getting Dino Fury season 2. So hopefully it's not that. And that we end up getting the rest of season 2 first. And that's no shade to France. That's no shade to France. I'm just saying, like, I just don't want it to be a situation where we have to go through that again. But yeah, that's just something to look out for. If anything changes, we would definitely report. We would definitely report it. Ooh, words are hard. Okay. Now, on to the most important part of the show, which is the comics. Ooh. So we are getting.
Gosh. It is crazy in this comics. Crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, someone is excited. Let's get into it. So we are starting off with issue 15 of Mighty Morphin. We are still in the Eltarian War. It is written by Ryan Parrott, illustrated by Marco Renna, colored by Walter Belmonte, lettered by Ed Dukeshire, the GOAT. And yeah, and we also have, our cover by Inhook Lee, variant covers by Goni Montes, and the list goes on and on and on. Also got a shout out to the editor Daphne Plebin and and her team for doing all the things at Boom. You guys are awesome. Now let's get into it. Okay, so thoughts. What do you think about issue 15 of Mighty Morphin?
I love the like it had like a maybe not a finale, but like when stuff really amps up in the season and you have the big battles with the big bads and the Rangers. I loved seeing so many different Megazords fighting the Imperials. I thought that was really cool. And then the stuff with the Century Force 4, most of them not being into what Zardis is doing. I thought that was cool to see.
Well, I wouldn't say they're not into it. I feel like they're more so that they're just like, we got our asses handed to us, so we're just willing to quit.
If I remember correctly, when he's saying that he wants to just straight up destroy Earth, 3 of the 4 are like, wait, I didn't know you wanted to destroy this place. I thought we were just going to have them join Eltar. And then the leader, what was his name, Zeta, he is so like devoutly for Eltar and will follow everything that they say, that he just follows what Zardis says and he just goes with it.
Well, the only one who I feel like was like legit just like against it was Zag. I feel like Zag was the only one that was just like, yeah, no, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this isn't what I thought this was gonna be. And even like the flying helper, even she was like, Zag, like, baby, humans are beneath us. Like, who gives a shit? Like, let's just go ahead and beat these Buffy so I can go home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was given. And the little girl who, what was it, like, supposed to be like the Spider-Man from the other universe when she was piloting the big robot.
Right. I forgot her
She's
name.
sitting there. I forgot her name
Zero.
too.
I think Zero.
Zero. Yeah, Zero, whatever her name is. I don't know. But even her, she was like, I don't really like, just tell them, just, be straight up. Like, no, like, this isn't cool. Like, and Zeta was the one that was like, yeah, no, like, I'm gonna follow Eltar to the end. So you're right, it was half and half. Some of them were like, no, the others were like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and, beat their asses and go home. So yeah, but I do kind of feel like it was a situation where it was just kind of like they recognized that they were definitely way over. Two of them recognized that they were way over their heads. For sure. I do think that. But I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead. There's more.
No.
Okay. Lena, what do you think?
There was a lot going on, and I liked how that. I like the little dynamics and little bantering that went on while they're in such a serious battle.
Oh, so you appreciate the banter?
Oh, absolutely. I was like, this makes it all, because like, I know this is comic, so it's different from like actually seeing it live action. But we can all agree we're not really into the whole Megazord scene, Megazord battles, and all that jazz, And
yeah.
It's like, it's whatever, it's so typical, it's so given.
It's so overdone.
Yeah, it's so overdone, right? So having the little banter in between, and even having like the banter with the villains, that was like a masterpiece to me. Chef's kiss. I'm like, wow. Like, you guys just made it all so much funnier and so much more entertaining. And it kind of gives you like a real insight of how these villains don't always have it together either.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna piggyback off and agree. Like, yeah, like the thing is, it's like what this comic really did for me, especially with the Century Force 4, it made you, it humanized them. Like, it gave them an extra layer that I wasn't expecting, because I just thought that they were just going to be these followers of Eltar, and just like being like, girl, we just came here to wreck shit and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were just like, we just came here to do this and call it a day. But two of them were actually like, no, I actually care. Like, I thought that we were just going to be bringing them under the fold, and if they don't come, there will be asses to been had, but not we going to destroy the place. I don't want to destroy the place. Like, I don't want to hurt nobody, so it's one of those situations where it's just like you said, Lena, it's like they don't have it all together either, and they're being lied to. They were definitely they were being manipulated.
Oh, absolutely.
And, so it's, I just love the writing from Ryan. It's just like, no, there is no black and white. Whereas like the TV show would be so quick to, just make it just a black and white issue. It's just either you're good or bad. That's it, kind of a situation. And it's like, there's a whole lot of manipulation going on. Like, everybody has a side. Everybody has a point of view. Even, Zordon and Zed, which was like my favorite part of the comic, because that whole battle between those two, like, they were throwing hands and exchanging words. Like, Zed had it out for Zordon. And you finally got to understand why, the beef that he had, and some of it is definitely influenced by Zardis, for sure. It was for certain influenced by him. But, it's like, just seeing those two battle it out and, expose the beef for what it is, it's just like, dag, like, you can kind of understand where Zed is coming from. Like, you get it. Like, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, he's being lied to, obviously. But you understand that it's just not a situation of him just being evil. You know, like, he has a reason. Like, it may not be completely true, but he has a reason for, you know, being the person that he is. So I just love this. I thoroughly enjoyed this comic and just, you know, all the things. Now, I will say there were a couple parts in this issue that really just like tickled my fancy. I enjoyed so much. I loved watching. I know that sounded stupid. But I just loved watching them actually give us a little piece of I guess like deep cut, where they had the Dragon Zord swimming under the water before he combined with the White Tiger Zord. I thought that was genius. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought that was genius. I was like, yes, come on through with the deep cut. And also Grace, Grace, destroying the crystal. Now,
that was one of my favorite parts.
Okay, I have a question. What was this crystal? Was this the crystal that controls the people, controls the Imperials, or like what was it? Like,
it's I believe it's a Zeo crystal or shard, and yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because I was like, I was confused. I'm like, is it the Zeo crystal? Because I'm not sure if it's a Zeo crystal or not. I'm very confused.
Yeah, because I believe that is one of the things that they established like issues ago, that they're using the Zeo crystal to, or we know that there's multiple ones to control them.
Okay. Because Grace stabbed the fuck out of it. So I'm like, oh, well, that's done. Yeah. So he's just like, what have you done? And the Imperials was like, we're free, so we about to just blow all you hoes up. And I'm just like, ooh. I'm like, yes, the Imperials is about to turn on all you hoes. I love it. And of course, Zardes does what most, villains do. They run because they realize they're like, fuck, this is out of my control. Gotta go. And he hauls ass. Now, how do you feel? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say we find out that other than retreating, he has a contingency plan. But go, what were you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, speaking of the White Tiger Dragon Zord, what do you think about that design?
It looks pretty cool. It's definitely something that I think a lot of people who watched the show back in the day probably wonder what that will look like. So it's cool that we actually got to see it. It looks pretty cool.
The reason why I asked is because, like, and I'm not gonna hold you. Me personally, like, I liked it. I just feel like Hasbro is gonna probably try to, like,
make it a thing.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I see it. I feel it in my spirit. I think they would do something like that. I'm actually kind of surprised we have not gotten a matte figure yet. I'm actually kind of surprised.
Oh my god! I wonder if those would be like shelf warmers, because people would be confused at who the hell this is.
Right, that's true. But also too, it is Mighty Morphin. It is Mighty Morphin, and it still looks like the Green Ranger, and it actually looks more so like the Green Ranger from the what was it, the Bat in the Sun?
Bat in the Sun, yeah.
So I mean, people, if they, because that Bat in the Sun episode actually was very popular, between that one and the Green Ranger versus Ryu and the White Ranger versus Scorpion. Like, those two were very popular. So people might look at that and just go, oh, that's Tommy from Bat in the Sun, you know, and it still may sell, you know? So without even thinking that it's Matt. We're like, who is this Matt dude? Like, who the fuck is that? But, you know, I don't know. But you're right. It could be, it has the potential of being a shelf warmer. Shelf warmer. But yeah, but like you said, it does get to the end where, you know, he does have a little contingency plan, and the contingency plan is on the moon, where a certain group of people, or a certain, you know, two people are fighting. So we shall see what happens, because it looks like it's about to get real. So, any other thoughts before we go ahead and grade this little sucker?
I'm good.
I real quick, once again for everybody knows I'm not the biggest fan of like post in space Zord battle, excuse me. But this these are so cool. Like the art on like them calling for the Thunder Zords, freaking beautiful. And then
I did enjoy that. That was nice.
And then them breaking up into groups to take on the three different Imperials was cool too. They went out into the Omega Rangers went out into space to get one of them. Tommy and Matt were doing it Matt in particular was doing it by sea, and then the Five Rangers were doing it by land. That was really cool. Oh my God. And then the moment with Grace and Zardis. Zardis is talking all sorts of shit, and then Grace comes up behind him and stabs that Zeo crystal. That was
in
awesome.
boss fashion. Like, just like, ha, gotcha, bitch. Just stab this shit.
Yeah,
like, ooh.
And look how they're still using the green what is it, the chaos dagger or something like that?
From the green Psycho Ranger.
Yeah, we were introduced to that ages ago, and they're still finding a way to use it.
Well, I mean, she still had it because she was using it to power her Green Ranger. So
right.
You know,
yeah.
She still had it. She was like, listen, I'm gonna have my little piece of Ranger, whether Zordon like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, child, listen. This comic had a whole bunch of just like dope moments. I thoroughly enjoyed just so much of it. You know, like, of course, the art is always given. Like you said, the Megazord formation panels, really freaking good. You know, just so much in this comic is just like, it's just given. Like, it's really good. It is phenomenal. So yeah, like, let's just go ahead and rate this. I'm not gonna hold you. I give it a 4.5.
4.5 too.
4.5.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and mosey on over to the second half of the telling of the story, which is in Power Rangers issue 15. Now, before we go ahead and jump into it, I just wanted to remind everybody, pretty much, you know, almost is pretty much the same team, written by Ryan Parrott, but this time illustrated by Francesco Mortorino and Marco Renna. Colored by Raul Angulo and Sarah Antonellini. I'm sorry. And also lettered by Ed Bootshire. I'm like, ooh, child, I am so sorry, girl.
Sorry.
Please forgive me, child, because I totally messed up your name, girl. I am so sorry. And of course, covered by Gerald Perrell. And, you know, we have different variant covers by various other artists. So big ups for you all on those as well. Now, first of all, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Before I ask y'all, what do y'all think? I just love the fact that we are still recognizing that Bulk and Skull has a YouTube channel.
Yes, I love that. I love the fact that they have a whole ass YouTube channel and they're quote unquote risking their life for all of you viewers out there.
Right.
They kind of are, because they're right up on the.
Well, you know what? That sounds like a dumb problem. Okay.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I love it. And I mean, honestly, it plays so well because this is technically season 2, and it plays so well into the fact that in season 2 they had such a hard on for trying to like expose the Rangers for who they are and all this stuff. And it's like Ryan Parrott used that, but flipped it on its head and like put it in such a Gen Z kind of like new age kind of thing where it's like, oh no, we don't want Cloud for exposing who they are. We want Cloud, you know, so that we can be popular on the internet. You know, like that is crazy. So I just love that. Big shouts out to Ryan Parrott for that, because like that's genius. I would have never thought to do that. Like that's just cool. They've been doing that for a while, but just when you see stuff like that happens, especially in this issue, it's just like to add that into the battle is genius to me. Like it's perfect. I love that. But please, like, let me know, what do you think about, you know, Power Rangers issue 15? What did you think?
So something that stuck out to me initially is the fact that it's literally picking up where Mighty Morphin left off with the battle and the Thunder Megazord chopping off one of the arms of the Imperial. Like we're seeing it from a different angle, from the angle of on the ground, because we're seeing it through Bulk and Skull's camcorder or iPhone or whatever they're taping it on. I thought that was a really cool touch. So it's like everything is happening at the same time. We're just getting another view from another viewpoint.
Yeah. Cool. And also too, you in that same panel, the Thunder Megazord's face is colored weirdly. So I just also thought that was funny. I was like, what's this, honey? Like, this is new. But
the way that they're drawn, like you can tell that it's a different artist, because the Megazords are drawn. Well, everything's drawn differently, but the Megazords in particular, they have like I feel like we've seen action figures released in recent years, well, in the last decade or so, that were kind of in this style. It's kind of like broad shoulder samurai.
They have that Gundam feel to them.
Yes.
Yeah, where they have those like cinched in waists with the big hips, big wide hips, and the big shoulders, and yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can definitely see that, especially in the
Tiger Dragon's Word.
Yeah, the White Tiger Dragon's Word. I was like, I'm blanking on this name. But yeah, you could definitely see it there. You could definitely see it there.
Could you please remind me what that issue was about?
Oh, it's just basically the wrap up. Like, it basically is the actual like final, not the final battle, because we haven't gotten there yet.
Is that the scene with like Zordon and all of them fighting?
Yes.
Okay. No, the reason I ask is sometimes I blur between the two issues, like which one is which kind of thing. Because they do intertwine so well that like
yeah.
Like, wait, which one was which? That battle scene? Oh my god. I feel like we've been waiting so long for that confrontation, and it happened. And
right.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit let down. I thought so much more was gonna happen. Yeah, because like I guess it's like we waited so long. It was such a big built up, right? Where like him becoming Lord Zed, he thought it was because of Zordon, and then Zordon obviously losing his body. Now he has his robotic body, and then you see Zardis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's like a mastermind to it all, and he's just like, oh, look at that, like look at you two, And my thing is, I'm surprised that there wasn't more anger.
Mm-hmm.
And more like that. Lord Zed is like, yeah, I can't believe you betray me, but I don't know. I was expecting so much more.
I could see that. I can see that. I see what you're getting at.
Like
yeah.
Such a long build up. It was such a huge build up too.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, honestly, for me, I would even go out to say, like, I completely understand it. My thing is too, what I was also looking for was I felt like if anyone was to really have like some beef, like some major issue, it would have been Zed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I assumed in this issue, I just thought that the real fight would have been between Zardis and Zed, not Zordon and Zardis. I just assumed that those two were going to have beef because of the simple fact that it's like, dude, you've been lying to me for eons. Like, you've been lying to me all this time, and you had me go on this whole mission to basically, have this beef with somebody who I thought betrayed me. Like, I went for years thinking that Zordon, was a backstabbing hussy and that he deserved all the smoke. And only to come to find out that it was you all this time. I mean, me personally, I'd have been like, yo, meet me outside. We got to square up. You know what I'm saying? So to have him, just to have like Zed just kind of stand there and kind of just look as like, Zordon is, getting into a squabble with Zardis was weird to me. So I can see where you're coming from, Lena. I definitely see where you're getting at. Yeah, I can pick up what you're putting down.
So like
I can.
And it wasn't, I thought it'd be so much more memorable. Like, like the whole them scene coming together. But overall, the issue was really good. The leading up to it, all that, And I know how many more issues we have left in the series.
In the Eltarian War, one more.
One more. Oh wow, that's it?
Yeah, it ends at 16. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm kind of disappointed.
Right. And like, I'm not gonna hold you because remember we had that whole thing of like trying to figure out, okay, with the Imperials, like how are they going to be defeated, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And to see that, okay, so the Imperials, like they had that part where like, like Will mentioned, the Thunder Megazord, chops off one of the Imperial's arms. And then also we had that moment.
Very epic.
Where, now I'm not going to hold you. I love the moment where the Omegas were able to finally combine.
Yeah.
And they created their Megazord and then, just completely just chopped the freaking Imperial in half. I think that was probably one of the most epic moments in like the entire thing.
I was like, this is the most graphic I've ever seen Power Rangers. Like,
I mean, we saw a Megazord's head fall off before.
Yeah. It's not the same.
I mean, that was sad. That was more sad more than anything else.
I love
because they made sure.
Like, okay, sure. Like, I mean, they're robots. Like,
right, like, but no, that was more sad because they made sure to make that camera stay on the Thunder Megazord's head on the ground for like a couple seconds, and then they went back to Kimberly screaming, "No!"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and Amy was giving it to us, honey. Amy was giving us the beats. So that was more sad than anything else.
Yeah, it was more her versus like the fact that it was just, I don't know, like for me, it wasn't so much as like the Megazord head, it was Amy that added the emotions to it.
Okay. Which I'm like,
yeah.
Which I ain't gonna hold you. I still have questions about that scene because I would have thought the one who would have been tripping the hardest would have been Billy. Because he's the tech dude. So I would have thought for sure he would have been the one that have been like, what? No. And
you know why?
Kimberly's like, no. I'm like, oh God.
Because I feel like they painted Kimberly to be the more emotional one. Because even when Zordon was dying, she was the only one that like cheered the fuck up. And I'm not gonna lie.
This is true. I
cried because she teared up, not because Zordon was dying. If anything, I was like, why does Zordon look so old and shriveled? Like I had questions. I was like, this is what Zordon really looked like. And wait a second, I thought he didn't have a body. Why does he have all of a sudden like a whole little miniature like body? Like I'm so confused. I thought it was just a head. Like
girl,
the questions I had.
Girl, the gag is Zordon is an old ass man wearing a muumuu, honey. I'm sitting here like, who grandma dress he stole? Like, what is going on?
Wow.
You know what?
Who this is?
Right? If it wasn't for Kimberly crying to take that distraction off the fact that what is happening right now, I probably would not focus. I would have lost focus on what we were really looking at.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Zordon had on his nightgown, honey, behind that doggone tube. He is talking to the girls in his nightgown. He is like, listen, babies, y'all got to come and save this planet while I go turn on Judge Joe Brown. Girl, like, oh my God. Like
it was horrible. Like, what was that?
Oh no.
Oh, no. So I'm saying whatever went down, they made sure Kimberly refocus us, and she did.
She did. Amy always brought the beats. Like, and you know what? Just to be to really put things in perspective, and when you really start thinking about the character as a whole, like I can kind of see Kimberly really having a hard time with losing Zordon in any way, shape, or form because of the simple fact that remember Kimberly is dealing with parents that are divorced.
Yes.
So she doesn't have her father in her life anymore. So Zordon really was her father.
Yeah.
In a way.
And he was her stable. He was like the most stable like adult in her life too, because her mom was running off, like meeting some random dude and getting married and living in a whole ass country without her daughter.
Right.
Without her daughter. Like she even tried to drag her daughter to France. She was just like, oh, you want to stay with your friend Aisha, whom you just met like 5 days ago? Sure.
Damn.
Sure. You do
Not
that.
5 days ago.
I'm too busy trying to get it on. So you go do you, Kim. Gymnastics. No. You figure it out yourself. How to take care of yourself? Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Like, I don't even know who Aisha's parents are, but I don't need to meet them. I'm sure you're well taken care of. Go on.
Oh, child. But no, like for real, but you got a point though. Like, like her mom is definitely not in her life like that, at all.
And then obviously with her dad doing whatever he was doing, where did he even disappear to?
Girl, we don't know. Like they didn't focus on her dad like that at all.
Oh my God. It was like a whole someone was like Justin's dad, like, oh, I'm going to rehab now. Bye.
They made up the excuse of like, oh, well, he was trying to take another job. But I'm sorry, you're going to take another job while you leave your child in a freaking foster care, like not even foster care, a freaking
a shelter.
A shelter?
Yeah.
Shelter?
A shelter.
Really?
Which is even worse than foster care because last time I checked, shelters are like for people who just wants to go there for a night or two to find shelter. Hence the name shelter.
Not Not okay. I'm just gonna dump you off here and never to see you again. Like, what the fuck?
Like,
That's wild.
Like,
who does that?
Who does that? So yeah. So we, for Kimberly, Zordon is her whole world.
Yeah. Justin was a little Annie in the show. Animal crackers in my soup. Monkeys and
Ooh. Hey, I have a random thought. Do you remember when Kim like turned evil or whatever, and she was like answering Zordon but pretending to be nice, but then like really like annoyed, like get to the point, tell me what I need to do. And then I can't remember what scene that was, but that kind of reminds me of teenage angst, how like that goes to further show how much of a father figure it was he was to Kim.
Is that you're talking about the episode when she when Trini and her both had the clubs, but Trini got more people to come to her club than she did? Got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She was definitely giving that like, oh my God, he's so like fucking annoying. But I'm gonna pretend to play nice. Oh, hi, Zordon. Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. I will be there in a jiffy.
Right. And meanwhile, she's like, and then Zordon seen her the little weapon. She's like, yeah, it'll be in my hands. It'll be better than that club hogger Trini's. I'm like, oh, you better give her attitude.
When she said that, I'm like, girl, those are my real thoughts. And I'm kidding. Those are really her true thoughts. I feel like that's genuinely her real thoughts. And they were just masked.
Right. They're just amplified by the spell. But like, no, she felt that way. She really felt that. Yeah, she did.
Oh yeah. Like I love Kim for always keeping it real.
but no, like for real. Like I could definitely see how Kimberly would have been the one who would be the most affected by anything Zordon. So, that is a very good point. But no, to go back to the comics, like in terms of like, the graphicness, we've seen like some things go down in the show, but like that was pretty crazy for them to like literally just chop a monster in half. Like that,
like a whole ass, like a monster that's like very important too.
Right.
Right in half, slice. I'm surprised there was no blood. I'm surprised Bulk and Skull didn't get like all the blood falling onto them.
And that would have been funny to see, honestly.
That would have been too much.
Like them getting slime.
Why not?
Why not? Let's get them. Let's see them get slimed.
Right?
Like that'd have been fun to see. Like,
I mean, we saw a whole like what do you call emissary? We seen the emissary. Yeah, emissary like dying. Like
no emissary. Yeah, the emissary. Yeah, we've seen them.
Yeah,
emissaries. Yeah.
I thought that was very graphic how he died. I was like, oh my God.
He turned into stone and fell apart.
Well, they
like they ripped him in half.
Yeah, they ripped him in half.
Shit, you're right. Damn,
like, what do you mean, Will? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
I forgot. It's been a while.
They ripped that ass right in half.
I was like, that was so graphic. I felt that. I was like, oh my God.
And so he was the main one.
Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he told them, don't you bring your asses over here.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to hide and you hoes want to find me. Leave me alone. And they got him killed.
Yeah. Yeah. He was pulling a whole Medea moment and it got him killed.
Okay.
Like
you stay your ass over there.
Right? And then like obviously for that monster to be ripped in half, like I was like, you know what? What's it called? Payback's a bitch. So you just that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So yeah,
okay.
I felt that. Like I thought it would be more gory, but it wasn't. But when that embassy died, I felt it all. I was like, oh my God, this just went down. Holy shits.
Now I'm not gonna hold you. Okay, now I was a little confused. When they did the white tiger dragon Zord did the little tail strike move and free the blue emissary. I was like, I thought that the only way that you could do something, like the only way that, like, I thought they were dead. I didn't know that, like, you know, well, I guess it makes sense because when the blue emissary was killed, he wasn't necessarily killed by an imperial. Like, he was killed by Kaya. So I'm guessing because he wasn't killed by another emissary, that he was able to, I guess he was like freed instead of like it had to take an imperial dying to save the others. I'm guessing that's what they're getting at, because like when he was freed, like that imperial is still alive. Like he's still there. Like his body is still there. It's just, and I think he was even still like, wasn't he like able to be merged along with another imperial? Like they kind of like combined. So like he wasn't necessarily dead, I don't think. You know, so I just thought that that was very interesting that that's what, you know, that's what they decided to do, kind of a thing. But yeah, like I definitely enjoyed the fact that like the blue emissary came and was like, you guys have a little form that you didn't know that you had. You know, you could actually combine, which I'm like, I thought for sure they would have known that. You know, I'm like, so y'all didn't know that you can combine? Like, that's weird. But apparently they didn't know. They didn't know that they could combine. Which what do you think about their Megazord? Like, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Like, did you like their Omega Megazord? What was it giving to y'all?
The Megazords in general look weird. So this thing looked weird too.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be 100 with you. It's the body of it, I thought was fine. I thought the body was fine. It's the head for me. It's the head, because that head just being like a red triangle with no face. I'm like, what is this? Like, if they actually had, like, if they actually had him with like a humanoid face and still had kept the, you know, the motif of the triangle, I would have been okay with it. I'd have been like, okay, this is decent. This is okay. But, you know, just not having no face at all really bothered me. And I think that that's what threw me for a loop. That's what made me not like it. But it just really looked weird to me without a face. That just really stuck out to me. I was like, I don't know if I like that or not. But yeah, they used their, like, I did like that they combined the Thunder Megazord's little finisher move, the energy from the finisher move to, you know, combine with the Omega staff to, you know, perform the final attack. So I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, you know, the two Omegas combined, and they start basically giving the Rangers the smoke. I mean, just like putting a smack down on them hoes, and was like, you can't beat us now. And then, of course, at the very end, we got freaking monsters that we thought we'd never see again. The freaking Horrid. Like, these vampires, these space vampires, the Horrid. Like, did you ever think we'd see them again? Because I didn't think so. I did not think that we'd see these monsters again.
No. The way that I love how they did it though, because you know, you think that we're finally free of the well, at least there's one Imperial left, I believe.
I think so.
And now this happens. Just thousands upon thousands of space vampires jumping out the sky. So like, what?
Right.
It was like a I'm thinking of like a oh come on like gif. Like, are you serious right now? Like, what the? So that was I liked how they placed that scene, that whole sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and as a
that
matter of
was a
fact,
lot.
wait a
But
minute, didn't oh, okay, so I'm looking at the panel again, and it looks like so we were down to one Imperial. One of the Megazords has split one of them in half, and then the last surviving Imperial walks over to the corpse and combines with it to make a more powerful more powerful body. The Megazord's faces. How the hell is the Megazord's chopped?
Those Megazords were gagged, honey. They were gagged. Domos was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, even though Omega Megazord had an expression, and it doesn't even have a face, and even it was gagged. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even notice that. Thank you, because I didn't notice that. That is funny. That is funny. Oh my God. Like, they were all like, what the fuck? But no, like that's funny as hell. But yeah, you know what? This issue, I'm actually like, I enjoyed this fight a lot. Like, one of the main things that just kept annoying me, honestly, for me, is just over and over this doggone little piece of not Thunder Megazord, the Thunder Megazord, its face being miscolored. That just kept annoying me. I'm sorry. It annoyed me a lot. I'm not even gonna hold you. It annoyed me, but for the most part, like this issue really, I enjoyed it. Like, it just kept going with the fight. One of the main things that I really enjoyed was the Blue Emissary coming back and doing its thing. So I definitely enjoyed that too. Anything else before we rate this one?
Yeah. The battle on the moon. That was I really enjoyed it, honestly. I like that we finally have Zord, not Zord. No. We finally have Zed realize that Zardis is just a rat bastard, horrible being, and manipulative.
Right.
And like, he finally realizes this, and Zordon and Zed jump him. That was pretty,
right.
That was pretty cool. But I like that we're getting somewhere with the story of these three.
Mm-hmm.
And we're finally going to get a nice ending in the next issue. So I like that.
I think so. I think so. I am honestly looking forward to seeing how they wrap up the Imperials, because my thing is, you know, we talked about before how strong they were, and just how nerfed they seemed. Like, they just seemed like they were so OP'd, and it's like, okay, like, are they, like, how are they gonna, you know, be able to pull this off without it being, you know, kind of like a what the fuck, like, are you serious kind of a situation. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. Lena, you want to add anything before we grade this one?
No, I am good.
Okay, all right. And you were done, right, Will? Or you still had something else?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and rate it. I definitely am rating this as a 4. I'm just gonna give it a flat out 4.
4.5 for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this one a 4 as well.
Okay. All right. Well, if you enjoy it, first of all, y'all, if y'all are keeping up with the comics, please definitely let us know what you think. Was our ratings accurate? Or, do you think we were tripping? But no, for real, like, these comics are fantastic. Please let us know what you all think. Comment, let us know if you enjoyed what we talked about today. Also, let us know as well. And we will be back again with some more tea, some more news next week. And yeah, once again, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.